Motorcycle, one of the finest inventions by mankind. The sense of liberty, thrill, and freedom that a motorcycle has to offer simply cannot be experienced on any other mode of transport. And there are so many options out there in the market that let you celebrate the spirit and justify the word motorcycling in true sense. And well, today we are with one such motorcycle. Ladies and gentlemen, the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. Now you must be thinking, what am I doing with a bike that was launched in India quite some time back? Well, this one has been a part of the Express Drive's long-term fleet for over 4 months now, and this one has clocked over 3200 kilometers till date. So during the course of its journey with us, today we are going to tell you how the Interceptor 650 is to live with, what makes it a much talked about motorcycle, what's good and bad in it, and should you pay the price that it demands. So sit back and enjoy the ride. First up, the way it looks. Now a lot has already been written and said about the Interceptor 650 in terms of its visuals, and it is one fine example of how a motorcycle can still look majestic even without fancy styling or an overdone design. The design language takes inspiration from the first ever Interceptor from the 60s, and despite that, the bike has enough to look like a proper modern classic. Bits like rounded headlamp up front, along with a teardrop shaped fuel tank, adds to the evergreen old school appeal. Moreover, there is a lot of chrome on the bike, but it has been thrown just at the right places, adding a premium feel. The overall build quality and fit and finish are just phenomenal, and Royal Enfield has maintained quite a standard with this one. All in all, the Interceptor 650 is a good looking motorcycle, and it looks nothing less than an eye candy, especially in this orange crush paint scheme. The instrument cluster on the Interceptor 650 is a twin pod unit with a small LCD screen. Here, apart from the usual stuff, you get a tachometer and twin trip meters as well. Okay, enough of the looks. Now, let's get on to something even more exciting. The engine on the Interceptor 650 has to be its biggest highlight. The 648cc oil-cooled parallel twin engine comes to life with a quick press of the starter, after which the engine settles to a melodious rumble. The twin-cylinder motor offers big fat torque, low down in the rev range, and the engine has a solid mid-range too. On the go, the engine feels a lot relaxed and easy, and you don't have to toggle gears every now and then. In fact, you can ride at as low as 45 km per hour in 6th gear and the bike won't resist. The 6-speed transmission works super smooth, and the slipper clutch works like a charm. Maintain the throttle between 2500 to 3500 RPM, and the bike just glides along the tarmac. The riding experience further enriches when you gradually ring open the throttle and hear one fine track playing behind your ears. Yes, it's that eargasmic. Even at speeds of 100 km an hour, there is no significant buzz, and even at this speed, interestingly, you can easily see things in the rear view mirrors as these aren't shaking. Quite rare for a Royal Enfield, isn't it? Out on the highways, where the Interceptor can stretch its legs, you can clearly see why this is a great mile muncher. Speeds of 130 to 135 km an hour are achieved quite easily, and you can easily cruise at 120 km an hour all day long. We managed to cover Delhi to Jaipur, which is almost 270 km on the Interceptor 650 in just 2 hours 40 minutes, maintaining an average speed of 100 km an hour, and this in itself proves how capable this modern classic really is. The Interceptor sits on a twin cradle tubular steel frame. The highly responsive chassis helps in quick directional changes, and hence, tipping this 202 kg bike from one side to the other feels quite effortless even for a peanut-sized rider like me. The Interceptor is a fun bike on corners too, And one of the prime reasons behind is the brilliant grip from the Pirellis fitted at both ends. Braking performance is decent enough to bring the bike to a stop as and when required. While the feel and feedback at the lever aren't razor sharp, this isn't essentially a complaint. The bike comes to a halt without getting nervous, and the dual channel ABS intervention is smooth and nice, further enriching the braking performance. As they say, as no product is absolutely flawless, same is the case with the Interceptor 650 as well. First up is the seating. The design is quite flat and narrow, due to which there isn't adequate hip and thigh support. While this isn't a big problem during daily commutes, it is the longer rides during which you will wish for a better seat design.
Second up is the fuel gauge. The digital reading is not accurate, especially when the last few liters of fuel are left in the tank.
Quite often, you will see the last 2 bars of fuel switching to a blinker and vice versa, despite the fact that there is enough fuel in the tank.
And hence, in such a case, we wish that Royal Enfield should have offered a low fuel warning light as well for better convenience. The Interceptor demands the first service to be done at first 500 kilometers, after which there is an impressive service interval as the second service needs to be done at 10,000 kilometers. As our test bike came to us after its first service, with 3,250 kilometers on the Odo at present, there is a significant amount of time left for it to visit the service center for a comprehensive service. More on this in our next report. Now let's take a look at the summarized data of our long-term Interceptor 650 for the last 4 months.
It has to be noted that the BS6 Interceptor 650 is currently priced in India at a starting of Rs 2,64,000, and there isn't any drastic change in terms of specifications or anything else of the motorcycle compared to the BS4 model. Having said that, the performance of the BS6 model should be at par with the BS4 model, and we shall further elaborate that once the bike comes to us for a proper road test. We shall conclude our long-term review of the Interceptor 650 in our next and final report, in which we would be elaborating the remaining aspects. Do give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our Expressways official YouTube channel for more such content. Also, don't forget to wear a helmet while riding. But for now, stay home and stay safe.